Whether you're a spender or a saver, we could all do with making the most of our cash.
So we found simple advice for you to do just that and taking it to people right across the UK.
Whatever help you need with your finances, we are right on the money.
Hello and welcome to Right on the Money, the show that helps you free up extra cash by giving you bags of tips and expert advice.
Simon's first visit is nearly over, but before he goes, he wants to tackle her biggest problem, the family home. Carol feels that she can't move forward with her life without selling the house she shared with her late husband, Peter. But after 6 months on the market, it's still unsold.
It needs to go back to a family again. It's been a lovely family home and it just needs to go back to somebody that can enjoy the space. I'm just rattling around at the moment.
Carol's house is on the market for £269,000. But with no buyers in sight, Simon has called in property makeover expert Anita Richardson. And after casting a creative eye over Carol's soft furnishings, she's ready to deliver her verdict.
So this, to me, I'm no expert, but this to me seems like a lovely house. Why isn't it selling, Anita?
It's lovely, it's spacious, but I have to say it's a little bit dated. So you need to up your game a bit and give it some house wow to really get the buyers interested. So one of the things is to depersonalise. You've got lots of beautiful photographs of your family, but it's your family, your house. It distracts people, and really you want them to be looking at this house, these rooms, where they could live.
Getting your house ready to sell doesn't have to cost a lot. Sometimes just a modest and cheap change can make all the difference. I think Anita wants more than a few cushions, plumped Simon. Carol has agreed to take on board Anita's advice. However, in part 2, we'll discover whether the prospect of leaving the family home is too much.
The temptation just to stay is great, and it would probably be the easier thing to do. I'm not really thinking about leaving. Sorry. It will be hard to leave.
And Carol will be joining us a little bit later to discuss the whole experience and how she's getting on.
But first, Simon's here, along with Sharon Mendy, who's going to tell us what she decided to do so that she didn't have to downsize. Going back to Carol, Simon, you can understand why she got upset at the thought of downsizing that house which she'd lived in with her husband.
Of course, you know, this is a home. This is where there are lots of happy memories. It's an emotional attachment. But, you know, you have to be practical and pragmatic. She needs the money now. That means moving on and downsizing. And to be honest, moving on can actually help the grieving process as well.
And there's one other thing Simon's been helping Carol with, trying to get her house sold. A week ago, he asked property makeover specialist Anita to take a look at why it wasn't selling. Anita had a few simple suggestions, like decluttering and buying bright new cushions and curtains to help speed up the sale.
I really am surprised and amazed at how lovely they do look, and I just wish I'd have done it quite a while ago now.
UK homeowners make on average £78,000 when they downsize, and that's exactly how Carol plans to secure her retirement. And there's been a development because she's already got someone booked in to look around.
Yeah, it's really good news. I've got a potential buyer coming round. They're going to have a look and, see what they think and give me some feedback. And, you never know, they might want to buy it.
It's nice to meet you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
So, having viewed Carol's crib, what's Judy's verdict?
I'm downsizing.
I think it's lovely. I think, she's maintained it well. I think upstairs, the bathrooms and bedrooms are fabulous.
Judy sounds impressed, and it seems our house seller has learnt a few tips along the way.
It's opened my eyes again for the future, so that when I get my new house, I'll be able to bring all of the things I've learned from here and enhance the new one. So I'm quite excited about it, really.
Result. If the house sells, Carol will have laid the foundations for a secure financial future.
Well, I'm delighted to say that Carol is here along with Simon. Carol, I guess the question we all want to know is, have you managed to sell that house yet?
No, it hasn't sold yet.
Okay.
I have taken it off the market, but for a very good reason. I took on board the advice that Anita had given, and I've been focusing recently on getting some improvements done outside the house. I've had the roof repaired and the patio that she was telling me about that was looking a little bit grubby and the paint was coming off. So I've had all of that retiled and repainted.
So when all that's done, it is your intention to get back on the market?
Yes, it is. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to start looking at the bedrooms, and the advice she gave me was to obviously declutter, depersonalise even further, but to actually just make things more neutral. You know, I can sort of take great pleasure in sorting that out and getting it really into a better place, really, to put it on the market.
And do you think, along with Simon's advice and with Anita's, it's what you needed? It was a bit of a sort of a life laundry, a bit of a sort of wake up, and you need to sort of change a few things and improve in a few areas, yeah?
It is, because you always think you've got a lovely home, and everybody tells you that, all your friends and your family tell you that. But I think it just needs that independent look, that someone will come and actually be honest with you, but in a constructive way, so they're not criticising, but what they are saying is, for a very small amount of money and just a bit of time, you can actually make a big difference.
Yes. What was the biggest surprise of this sort of meeting Simon and Anita? What do you think shocked you the most about what you were saving?
I think it was the fact that I was just spending without really recognising what it was going on, and keeping the diary was a little bit of an eye-opener.
So you're telling me earlier about your haggling for a new car.
Yes, yeah, I've just very recently found myself in a situation where I've needed to look for a new car, and I found myself listening to those tips that you gave me. I had your voice there on my shoulder and in my head.
That's a scary thought.
But, you know, the car dealer sort of started off with a figure. I stuck to the original price that I'd wanted, and eventually I did get it. So I was really, really pleased about that, because it could, you know, even my son was impressed with how I'd done the haggling.
Sounds to me like you've been on an incredible journey and come a long way in a short space of time. What have you learned from the show?
Being confident, and about sort of dealing with the issues that I'm facing at the moment around selling the house, and that I now know with the estate agents what I need to look for, how I need the literature presented, all of that sort of thing. So I'm going to be far more savvy when I'm putting it on the market again and choosing who I'm going to do that with. But then the other area is the confidence with the bills, and knowing that you just have to try, you just have to push, and every bill that comes in, always try and get that reduced. Sometimes you win, sometimes you won't, but just to try and at least get the things reduced.
You've really taken control, haven't you?
Yes, yeah, and I say it's that, the confidence, I think, to deal with that, that's the thing that's come across mostly.
And Carol, at the end of the film, I mean, there's, you know, I'm struck by your comments that you said your husband would be really proud of you as well, you know, looking at what you've achieved so far.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
Yeah, he'd have probably just thought, oh, you know, she wouldn't be able to do this. And, you know, a few years ago I would have struggled, as I said, but, yeah, he'd be thinking, good on you, girl, you know, you're doing all right.